Hello, brothers and sisters of land. Welcome to my page. My page is about common sense. I try to keep it down under 10 minutes. And if it goes over 10 minutes, that means it's something very important. Okay, but everything I say is fucking important. I see. Again, my page is about comedy, humor, dark humor, unsensitivities, education, research, all of the things under the rainbow, rather than just common sense. Some things may not seem like common sense, but if you really thought about it, it will just be common sense, okay? Because most people are not very interested in sitting in a box like I do, or like what I'm doing now. It's like a prison, okay? Because everybody's in a prison, but they don't realize it. So they run rampant and keep on going outside to keep themselves down by escapism and not trying to realize what this life is about. Life is it's exciting. It's a beautiful, nightmarish world. And living in a beautiful, nightmarish world, you tend to forget your origins, your place, okay? You tend to not focus on the value of the other life rather than just this life. This life is just how you make it and what you wish it to be. Okay, it's all fucking simple to understand, okay? But of course, as people live in these lifetimes, and you need probably 1,000 or 2,000 lifetimes in this human form just to understand certain scientific quantum physics, okay, it's like a waste of time. It's kind of irrelevant, even if you pass on to generation, because sometimes things interfere with that type of education, like Krishna or Shiva destroying the planet, and every time they come down to destroy the planet, the fucking world loses at least 50% of its knowledge. So you got to start all over. It's called resetting the clock, because that's not what God wants, if you believe it to be so. But on to the subject now here. This is a very important video because voices tell me all the time to tell you this information, because I am one of the INFJs, okay? As you should already know, Myers-Briggs scale or whatever. I've always known I was different since I was a child, though, but I'm not going to talk about that here. But this video is going to be your godly origins. I may have made it before, but I just made some notes to make sure that people can understand why you're here in this world. As I said before, you have a mission, and your mission is basically to keep the recycling going, okay? Keep our workers working, keep our energies flowing, okay? Keep away from those who will pull down energy, and also defend those who are of the weak. This is an exciting video game-like world, in which we are just here temporary. Everything is here temporary. There's nothing in stasis forever. Nothing lasts forever. But then it does. Okay, so there's a paradox. There's an oxymoron there. Okay. It seems like it lasts forever. Okay. But let's get on with the subject here. Your godly origins, okay? I'm not going to be too comical here, but I may make some animations in my face so I can keep you interested, of course, because I'm good with kids. Kids naturally go to sleep. I'm like Obama, baby. Kids naturally go to sleep with me. Well, let's go in the beginning. I wrote it down, so we can understand this very clearly. So when I say the godly origins, you come here, and it has the voice next to it, okay? All right? In the beginning, there was nothing. Okay, this is the logic. These are the steps how you can understand life and everything about it and all things around it. And nothing is the color red. So I'm going to put a color to this existence of something. Okay, now the next one, it's in the beginning there was something. Okay, and then there was the next thing. There was consciousness. Okay. So basically, the consciousness is indigo, the beginning of something is yellow, and the beginning of nothing is red. So I'm going to color code these things so you can keep track of all these things that did exist, and then it did not exist. So on top of all these things, it did exist, and then it did not exist. So no one really knows this answer. No one. Absolutely no one. But if you use enough common sense, people always say to you, oh, there was something in the beginning. But really, there was nothing in the beginning. And if there was something, there had to be some sort of consciousness that goes along with that, correct? Some sort of interaction of molecules or DNA or genomes or some other spatial, other dimension, otherworldly type of information shit that you can't possibly even believe in. You don't even understand. But this is where your origins come from. All right? Okay, let me see. Okay, consciousness is basically action. The bringing together of two atoms, okay? But sometimes they smash together. Sometimes you can't see them smashing together. Sometimes there's a gravitational pull, okay? You don't know these things. No one does. All right? That's why I always wanted to be a scientist, okay? But I never got the chance to, okay? But no matter who speaks, they are never 100% accurate. They'll probably be only 20% actually, as a matter of fact, because they're only going on what the eye can see. See, I can see, okay? Now let's go on to the next subject here. That was part A. So now you understand there was something, there was nothing, and there was consciousness. Now, if you go more towards the Hindu side, you'll understand this concept and a lot of metaphorical, subliminal messages through their Mahabharata. You may find it. It's crazy, right? Okay, look at the Bible and the newer religions tend to tone down and make things more fit for the lower minded, so you can be in a religion or a hotep or someone, or you want to see a drawing on the wall, but it's already been written already thousands or probably tens of thousands of years ago, maybe even billions of years ago. This earth has been recycled many times over. Okay, you get my gist so far? Like I told you before, nothing exists. You go back to my other videos. Hey, don't start making noise with her. Say hello. Jesus. Say Jesus. Yeah, Jesus is me. Okay. And so there are people in this world who are Jesus, and they exist right now. And Jesus said this, okay, because he had 12 disciples. Okay. But at the same time, he couldn't survive this world because he didn't want to. He wanted to transform himself like a lot of other individuals did too. Like Horus and Set, or Dionysus, okay. And there's a lot of different gods that died and came back. Okay, which is a fact. Okay, but you want to believe in them when you already know you are a god. Now, section B. I already talked about section A. Section A was it's gonna go over 10 minutes. Yes, it's gonna go over 10 minutes. You happy? You happy? You happy? It's gonna go over 10 minutes. If some people ask me, why don't you just make more videos more in depth? I said, yeah, but that's not what my fucking channel is. I fucking about. If you want to do that, you can do that. You can be monotone all the fuck you want. Okay. But I'm trying to give you enough common sense, which may not seem like common sense from the start, because quantum physics is not common sense. You'll never understand it. Okay? Now, section B. This being, the deity, was once, all at once. Okay? Until it got creative and expanded itself outward, separating itself and inward itself at the same time. So it said, fuck this. It doesn't want to stay in one place for long. You said you don't want to stay in one place for too long. No one does. Even in paradise. No one wants to be in paradise forever. Experiencing all emotions or even probable emotions that you can't possibly fathom. Okay. The Gaia hypothesis it's basically organism within the organism. World within the Gaia hypothesis. Look it up, motherfuckers. Worlds within worlds, worlds within worlds, dimension within dimensions, within times and spaces. Okay, there is a torus of energy that's fluctuating in and out. Doesn't matter if you can see it or not, because it is there. It is an essence of fucking energy. Okay, let me go on and continue with part B. It separated itself inward and outward, separating itself into multiple layers until it's exploded. It said, hey, fuck it, because even if it's exploded, it's going to come back anyway. It evolves, it expands, and it retracts. Like a beating heart. I knew this when I was a child. I started thinking too much. And plus the voices even helped me. So I already knew I was special beyond measures of thinking. Okay. Just like you may think you are an INFJ or INFP, it doesn't really matter, because all these things are different levels of vibrations. Okay, you'll be experiencing and evolving. Either you're already evolved, like I was when I was a child, or you just learning to evolve. And I'll get down to this part C about that later. You understand so far now? Now, multiplying itself into layers of dimensions, time and space. Organisms, creations, worlds within worlds, etc. You get the point, okay? The bubble effect. External bubble effect. Worlds, a bubble within the world and a bubble in the world. Okay? Yes, indeed. I know. Okay, what God wishes to stay in one place as an experience, as it can experience each individual energy source, which is me, you, and every little bug that flies around in this fucking special energy that we can see. We are all gods, including every organism. Every evil organism, every evil positivity, every evil negative energy, even all those in between. Okay. Now, on to part C. Okay, part A was basically the colors of something, nothing, and consciousness. Something, nothing, and consciousness. Part B was basically a deity that wishes to stay as one. No such thing. No. No one wants to stay. You, not even a fly, wish to stay. If you had consciousness. And this is another thing, too. The Matrix is very real, okay? You have to understand that if you have no mind to think, kind of like if you watch that TV show called, Hitchkinson and, okay, Thomas, Hitchkinson. It's like The Matrix, basically. It's like The Matrix. It's also similar TV shows that's on TV that was relating to the same thing, okay? But I can't think of it now. I just woke up, okay? But anyway, part C. Okay, now, the reds, okay, this is part C now. I'm going to part C. Are basically, you know, you're nothing, okay? If you're a red, you just have low vibration, okay? And I've already said this countless times in my past videos, over and over and over again. You're just followers. You go on your impulses. You go on your pleasures. You're extroverts. You're just truly extroverts. And if you are extroverts, you only care about your goddamn self. You don't care about nobody else. And if you do care about someone, you're just a special extrovert going into the yellow zone. Okay? Most people don't care about themselves. They care about only fear and protecting their own asses. Okay? They don't think about other people's feelings or your feelings. I don't really care about your feelings or like that because you lack education. You don't want the common sense. You don't want the knowledge. Right? Right. But other than that, that's different. Okay? But I'm not a negative one. I can be a negative one, but it's not really a lower vibration if I'm negative. Okay? Not necessarily. It's a mixture of all sorts of bags and stuff. Okay, traits and stuff and psychologicals that's in there that where someone could be negative, but they're really positive. Actually playing a role in your role to protect you, okay? Like angels or something like that. Sometimes somebody may do something negative that may actually help your life. Like certain things happen to me that was negative that actually helped me in my fucking life. So I can't always blame the people that put me in some situation because the blessing is overwhelming. Okay? I could be fucking filthy ass rich. I can't tell you that shit. Okay? Because there's other people listening to me. But let's see. Let's go by. I digress here. Reds are just followers, impulsors, religion, drugs, escapism. It doesn't matter. You just flipping it all away. Most of the time, you're like 80% of you're stuck on this world. You love this world. And then it's the yellows. Okay. The reds are the children of limbo. Now, limbo is when it's like a purgatory. You're stuck in between somewhere, which you can't get out. Okay, but it doesn't matter. Life is all nothing but a limbo effect that you cannot escape. The only way to make sure that your life is more happier in the limbo effect is if you can transform to anything you want in your next life. And I'm going to get down to the nitty gritty with that. Okay, that's part C. Part C is basically yellows are something. Okay, you're a mixture of more still red though. Yellows are still more red. Because once you start realizing the truth, you start to isolation yourself. You don't become extrovert. You don't care about people like that. So you can see the level like the red, yellow, and greens. This is red, yellows, and indigo. So I'm just trying to make it special for you. You should understand. Reds are extrovert. Or sometimes they could be in the house all the time, but still super religious. They believe in the media. They believe in what they see. I didn't believe in what I see. You question what you see, goddammit. If you're born and you don't question things, you're a red. If you're born, you don't question things, you could be either a red or a yellow. Sometimes you may ask a portion of it. Like I said, the yellows are adolescents of limbo. You're still a teenager. You're still young. When I was like 17, I was already a grown-ass fucking adult. Nobody listened to my ass. They thought I was crazy. There you go. Right. So you got mixtures of more of the red than indigo. Okay, so you're starting to become aware. Learning, and you're becoming aware of your gnosis. Gnosis is the eye within, the third eye within yourself. Okay. All right. See, I know I'm not being funny, but I am funny with my animations, motherfucker. This is what the voice tells me, and I wrote it down as I go along. I didn't read this from nowhere. I just knew this when I was a child. Okay. Now, the next thing is that adults of limo, okay, Indigo. Indigos is basically isolated completely. Asperger's, schizoids, they you may even consider them, some of them, bipolar, but there's a difference between a mental illness and someone who has enough common sense to realize what they have. And they can separate those things individually. They can pick up people's vibrations and reverbs instantly, like I can. I don't have to say shit. I'll just say me to you. I say me, and you just automatically jump. You'll be like, oh, you're a powerful motherfucker in your head, but you don't like me. That's okay. There's people like that. Okay? Indigo children are the gnosis. They are self-aware at all times. They take care of their health. Okay? They don't get involved with socializing too much. They definitely do not fit in with the rest. Okay? Or you want to call them INFJs. Look it up. Okay? His name is Myers-Briggs, okay, 1940s, okay? But I'm telling you before I read it, that way before them, this has already been laid out. The fundamentals of the eugenics and the fucking mental psychosis has already been laid out. I know a lot of them. If you go on my databanks in my mind, you'll see I read hundreds of books. I just know shit, okay? Right? You just know shit, because I think, and I just sit there, and you just think that I'm a dangerous person. Okay, but it's not true. I'm not a dangerous person. I'm dangerous to those people who wish to be dangerous to me. Okay, so if the demon talks to one individual, they will talk to a whole list of individuals, try to get me killed, like Jesus. Okay, so I try to take myself away from the masses, because most masses are people who are fearful. They don't understand. Okay, all right, and so part D. This is part D now here. Reincarnation. As I said before, reincarnation is real, and there's plenty of books out there for you to understand it. There are people who have remembrances and lapses of their past life, and even the technologies that they used to live in. Okay, oh my God, man, you just have to research it. I said if Jesus can die and come back, and he has a new body, then that means reincarnation is no fucking joke. That shit is no joke. They have glimpses of their own past. Okay. So the ultimate being of themselves said, hey, I want to remember things. It's up to you for what you want. Reds are usually reincarnated due to the lack of self and karma dharma. So they get the highest form of karma dharma. So whatever you believe in, since you're so religious, whatever you put in your life and your being, you will get that dark karma dharma prominent. You will even go to hell. You will even see a hell. You will even be manipulated by a false illusion called Jesus, Krishna, or Vishnu. You don't know those individuals. You never saw them individuals. You just believe. You go to the proper place because you allowed them to control your God particle. You understand that, motherfuckers? Okay, they stay in this life for the whole life, pretty much 90% of their life. They may even turn into a yellow by the end of their life. Okay, until they die into the next life, and until they die to the next life, until they die to the next life. And what happens is that they become these beings. And I'm gonna add on the thing. As I said before, we all begin as energy, to a molecule, to an organism, to a virus, to a bug, to an animal, to a human, and on to other higher evolved species until we are newly refreshed into the system of the Matrix. If you want to call it that, you can call it limbo or the Matrix. It really doesn't matter. Worlds within worlds. Now, the yellows are usually attached to a few things. They stay halfway through this life. They start realizing things halfway through. Maybe near the end of their life, they'd be like, oh, I know now. Because I've taken care of older people, and now they're going to start realizing this. 10 years ago, now you're 60 years old, but you was 50 years old, you start to understand what life is about. I said, no. You're a yellow. You're a yellow chicken-headed bastard, just like the reds. Stay away from me, motherfucker. But it's okay. I digress. Now, okay, the last one is Indigo Child. Okay, self-realization all the way. That's me, baby. Okay, I told you this, like 2% of the people in the world. It's probably less than that. That's like 145,000. It's way less than 2%. I don't think it's millions of people. They're on the yellow zone. They're still stuck, okay? They're not going to be able to be a god. If I die, I'm coming back as a god. So the generators for the CERN project is getting ready for me. I'm coming back as a motherfucking god. I'm scaring the shit out of everybody. I'm gonna say remember my life, but y'all ain't gonna remember my life. You already be dead, okay? So if I'm living in this life and I die, let's see how it works. I'll just bring back the same current time. I'll go back in time. So if I die now, 3 days later will probably be 3,000 years or some shit. And I'll go back to this time. I'm gonna go back to this time. So you can remember my face on this YouTube. Anyone, okay? And then I will tell you that was me, motherfucker. And now I'll show you all my other avatars who was doing the same thing I was, who was ridiculed and made fun of, just like Jesus or the deities that was before. And then you will suffer. So there's a recycling energy. I am not here to actually feed you negative knowledge. I'm here to feed you positive knowledge. And then you make fun of me. So if you keep doing it until the day you die, and you have not asked for any reconcilingness, okay, or forgiveness, then you will not be forgiven. You will feel like you're somewhere for eternity, because I will put you there. I will give you your hell, okay? Yes, I love when people make fun of me, because I will remember them. Every fucking person, from that time they suffered me, they will suffer at the time that this... It's a weird type of paradox of life, okay? So let's say you suffered me yesterday. That means you will suffer for 10 years because of me. And then I'll refresh your mind. You know, I told you mentally. I don't have to speak it. You just know it. You just know something's wrong. You know there's an energy about me. You know something you don't like about me. So you didn't ask a question. You didn't ask nothing. So you suffered because you made an error in your judgment. Okay, you suffered me. You suffered me first. Okay, let's make that clear. For me to suffer you. Karma Dharma. It comes back to get you. Now, what else is there to say? Indigos are usually self-realization. They attach to nothing and become gods to be more powerful deities. And then that's the end of the life cycle, because they can't change from who they are. You may forever stay. You may have to live 1,000,000 life years just to become an evolved indigo child, or indigo's energy spirit, or indigo god. Okay? So now you understand the purpose of life, or hell, or heaven, is what you choose it to be, and your mission as well, because some people come here and they go into this other side of this dimension and they choose their life like a fucking video game. But we all are still in a video game, regardless of how you rearrange it. You choose it. Somebody controls us. Say, hey, you want to go down there because some other being wishes to control your being, and you came down here for this challenge, and you're supposed to complete a mission. If you don't complete that mission, you're just screwed. You're gone. You're terminated. You're going to be stuck here until you realize what your mission is. And I tell people all this time, you have a mission here, because this world is very difficult. It's a heavy world. Do you want to go to the planet Jupiter and see how easy it is over there? You want to see how easy it is in the planet Jupiter or planet Mars or Saturn? You want to see how easy it is? I'd rather come to a fucking hard world. You see how it works? Oh, now you understand. Okay. So wake up, motherfuckers. You know I'm telling the fucking truth. Peace and love to you, brothers and sisters. I said A, B, C, and D. And if you have any questions, you put it down below. If you have any questions or comments or even a roast fest, I like when people make fun or something, you know. You're some boring motherfuckers. Most of you are just boring motherfuckers. But it's okay. I have character. I'm not one of them INFJs who are boring. You should be happy if you knew me. Okay. Don't fuck with me, okay? Peace.